Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back. It is the Great Pumpkin, and this is the second episode of your Daily Dose of Lead. The series I try to do daily, but sometimes I get distracted, and sometimes it's just not possible, so sorry for making it not exactly daily. But it'll try to be more often, seeing as I can actually get some peace and quiet sometimes. So, here we go with the first story of the day. And this is just something I find stupid as well, because, I find a lot of things stupid. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm pretty darn stupid, and I like talking about stuff that makes me angry, because it's the one thing I can get passionate about in this world, something that makes me angry. So, let's talk about something that makes me angry. An American woman, an 18-year-old, went to her senior prom, and as everybody knows, the teenage girls like very much to buy expensive, fancy dresses that they really don't need, but they like to show off anyway. And this girl decided that she was going to show off her appreciation for the Chinese culture by wearing a Chinese-style traditional dress. And it's a very nice dress. It's actually a pretty nice looking dress. She looks well in it, even though she's not Chinese. But it looks good on her. And she thinks, okay, yeah, let's go wear it. No big deal. Everybody will like it. It'll be awesome. I'll look good standing next to my boyfriend here at the dance. Gonna look awesome. Well, she posts the pictures to social media, and that's where the problem comes in. It's the social justice logic again of the stupid made-up thing called cultural appropriation. Now, for those of you who don't know what cultural appropriation is, it is a, once again, made-up word by the leftists, because they find something to get offended at, even if there's nothing to get offended at, about stealing another culture's culture. Now, you may think that's weird, because you can't exactly steal something that doesn't physically exist. Oh, but yes, you can. See, cultural appropriation is a white girl who lives in America taking a Chinese dress that is from the Chinese culture and saying that it is her dress because she is wearing it. And then the Chinese people, or at least the Chinese social justice warriors, get really, really mad because, hey, you're stealing our stuff. That's not at all like you eating at our buffets and all of our wonderful takeout restaurants. That's not appreciating our stuff. So you can eat all our Chinese food all you want, but you can't wear a dress like we do because you're not Chinese. That doesn't make any sense. And so this poor little woman is getting all this hatred from people she doesn't know because she wears a dress. And this is just, again, the word retarded, because retarded fits very well here. It goes back with the thing of American politician Elizabeth Warren and her cultural appropriation of calling herself a Native American when she's only about 1/32nd Native American. Hey, you're stealing our culture, you're a white person pretending to be an Indian, how dare you steal our culture? And then trying to advertise herself as a Native American when she's not, she's white, she's German. So, I don't understand why people do this to themselves, and I don't understand why people think it's any of their business what someone else wears. If I decide that I'm going to go and, I don't know, go wear lederhosen, I'm going to go wear lederhosen out in public because I am proud of my German heritage. Someone's going to call me on that because they don't believe I'm authentically German and that I'm stealing the German culture and making fun of it. No, I actually am a decent bit German. German, Scottish, and English. So it kind of makes sense if I want to go somewhere wearing lederhosen to celebrate my German heritage. I don't care. Or even better, my very best friend for about 9 years now, he went to prom, and we went together, obviously. Well, not gay. We, as a group, no homo jokes, okay? But he is very much Scottish. And by that I mean he is the full Saskatchewan ginger all over the place. Big bushy beard and everything. So he decided that he was going to wear a full formal kilt to prom. That's awesome, because he's that culture. He's proud of his culture. But when someone that's not, say if a black guy went to prom in a kilt, Oh, cultural appropriation. You can't wear that because that's disrespecting the Celts and their years of paganism. Shut up. Shut up. Just everyone shut up. Let this poor girl wear whatever prom dress she wants. If she looks good in it, she feels good in it, let her wear it. Don't worry about it. And I'll say, if she was like 500 pounds and trying to fit into a tiny dress, okay, then I can understand some ridicule. But it's still not nice to make fun of fat people. Okay? So, let her wear whatever she wants. It's not that big of a deal for a white person to take something from another culture and show their appreciation for it. And in her many tweets here, there's, of course, the lovely picture of the full-length dress and everything. And then her direct tweet is the person wearing this dress. To everyone causing so much negativity, I mean no disrespect to the Chinese culture. I'm simply showing my appreciation to their culture. And I'm not deleting my post because I've done nothing but show my love for them. It's a fucking dress and it's beautiful. To everyone who says I'm ignorant, I fully understand everyone's concerns and views on my dress. I mean no harm. I am in no way being discriminative or racist. I'm tired of all the backlash and hate when my only intent was to show my love. So she wore the dress specifically to say, hey, China's cool. I like China. It's awesome. And I'm going to wear a dress to advertise their culture because I think everyone should know how good these dresses look on people. And then you decide, social justice warrior, cancer, cancer, cancer. We're going to tell everyone what to do. We're going to tell everyone what to do. You can't wear that dress because you're a white girl. Nah. It's just dumb. Just stop it. Just please stop. Please, for the love of everyone, stop trying to tell other people what to wear. It's just clothing. Would you rather me go out and wear, I don't know, a toga made of leaves or something? No, because that's weird. But I also just want to wear what clothes I want to wear. It's not that big of a deal to just let someone do something like, I don't know, wear clothes. It's word of the day, retarded retards. Anyway, you may have noticed on the topics at the beginning of this video, Trump for Nobel? There is quite a bit of discussion about the South Korean president supposedly or not saying that Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for 2018 for unifying the peninsula of Korea. And there's a whole big debacle about this because some people say it was lost in translation and he didn't actually mean Trump should get it. Some people say that he did mean Trump should get it because the South Korean president actually, for some reason, likes Trump. And, yeah, so it's just this great big deal. Now, I personally agree with the statement that if he was saying Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize, I think that would be very much worthy, very worthy, because here, I'll pull up the tweet again, okay? As you can tell, I get all my news from Twitter, okay? So, what is this? Let me find it. Okay. Here we go. The AFP, which is whatever the heck that is translating it this way. President Trump can take the Nobel Prize. All we need to take is peace. Making more clear that the South Korean president was responding to a former winner's wife, suggesting that he should win. Moon is the South Korean president. So, there's some talk about being lost in translation and that people who speak English are trying to stand up for Trump and claiming that he should get it. But there's also some context we don't have here, which is the entire conversation, where supposedly the other version is he's responding to something someone else said, that the president of South Korea should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Which is kind of funny, seeing as they completely cowed under the nuclear threat of their northern neighbors. I don't really think that's deserving of a peace prize, but you can go on here. And this is there's many different things you can do. I'm not trying to stall for time here. I'm actually trying to find the exact words because there's a list here. Here we go. Okay. So someone else on Twitter, who I'm not naming, not winning the Nobel Peace Prize will be more valuable to Trump than actually winning it. Why? Because he can point to the fact that Obama won it for no reason, and then he was snubbed despite doing something huge. It fits the narrative that the system is rigged against Trump. So there's someone else on the left complaining that, Trump should just take the criticism and say, you know what, I don't deserve the prize because if Obama got it for nothing and I did this great big thing that helped everybody and I didn't get it, it just proves the system's rigged against me. No one likes me because reasons. And so there's that part of it. Here we go. So, another tweet. Just when you think this alternate universe can't get any more hallucinatory, there's actual talk about the President of the United States deserving a Nobel Peace Prize. Must have been the short and fat insults, or Little Rocket Man barbs, or maybe the nuke button wars, or threat to totally destroy with fire and fury. And so there's all these wonderful things that the leftists are going crazy about because they go crazy about anything when Trump does anything. So there's a poll out by another, I'll just name him because he's actually a decent bit popular, Oliver McGee, PhD, MBA. He says, do you believe POTUS will receive the Nobel Peace Prize for the unification of Korea after 70 years since 1948 and for ending Korea's nuclear program? Vote and retweet. So, 47% of the 27,107 votes say yes, he should get it. 33% no, 11 are praying for something, and 9 are not sure. So, it's not a majority, not a true majority, but quite a bit more people are actually thinking that he should deserve the Peace Prize for unifying Korea. And by that, he's saying, by threatening North Korea to stand down with our big weapons, we are forcing them to create peace by getting rid of their weapons. And so by Trump pulling out the big guns and saying, don't get a big head here, North Korea. We've got you under lock and key. If you do this, we're gonna do this. And then Trump miraculously pulled off the negotiation to somehow get the two Korean presidents together. And then they talked out demolishing the North Korean nuclear weapons program. And the two presidents at their own private summit have decided to officially sign a treaty ending the Korean War. That's right, the Korean War didn't officially end until give about 10 days from now, probably. The Korean War has still been going on officially. It hasn't been officially resolved until now because the two different regimes, the democratic of the South Koreans and the totalitarian communist of the North Koreans, have decided to not talk for so long that they never had an opportunity to negotiate the end of the war. And this is why people are trying to give Trump the Peace Prize anyway. So it's pretty hot topic. Let me know what you think, and I'm not giving you a whole lot of information here because there's just so much about it from every source you can find under the sun. But go ahead and look at situation up for yourself and see what you think. Does Trump deserve a Nobel Peace Prize? It's kind of an interesting topic because honestly, it's as one person said, Trump is like a good surgeon. When you have a broken bone, it'll try to heal on itself. But when you take that same bone and break it in the right place, while it may cause pain, it'll cause the bone to regrow correctly. And Trump is causing the bone to grow correctly. He's trying to break the world in the right places so that it'll grow back together. And people don't like that. People would rather just take the crappy bone that healed up on its own and have a bum knee the rest of their life. Trump's trying to do things good here. people just take it out of proportion because it's politics. Everybody involved in politics can never get along. Whatever one person does, even if it's great, the other side shoots down, and that goes for both right and left wing. And it needs to stop, or we're not going to get anything done, ever. On a lighter bit of news, someone, somewhere, no one gives credit to the person who originally found it, but there's a funny Easter egg with your iPhones. And I tried this with my mom's iPhone, and I tried this with my sister's iPod, and neither of them worked. So I'm just assuming it's the most current, most updated version of Siri that does this. But the headline reads, Siri's banter tops out at PG-13, but sometimes curse words can slip through. A funny Easter egg surfaced over the weekend where you can get Siri to curse. All you have to do is ask your iPhone to define the word mother. Now, I'm sure some of you out there can instantly figure out what the swear word is based on mother. You would be correct. All you have to do is ask Siri, define mother, and she will tell you the correct definition. Mother is a matriarchal figure that supports and cares for her offspring, children, whatever the official definition is. And then she'll ask you, do you want to hear another definition? To which you say yes. And then Siri will proceed to tell you the following. And I've actually got a video clip here with some audio. So I'll turn that up real quick. And let's take a listen.
As a noun, it means a woman in relation to child or children to whom she has given birth. Do you want to hear the next one?
Yes.
As a noun, it means short for motherfucker. Want to hear the next one?
And so there you go. If you ask Siri to define the word mother, she'll give you the correct version, but then she'll ask you again. You say yes, and she will tell you motherfucker. So there's just something fun. You guys can try that out. I'm sure everybody with an iPhone can do it as far as the updated ones, but my mom's is like a 7, I think. So I don't know if it'll work with 7s. But try it out. See if your Siri will swear for you. I'm sure it'll be quite interesting to hear what she comes up with. And let's see here. One more fun fact, and this is not political in any way, or is it? As everything can be turned political. But on a scientific side, shall we say, have any of you seen the fabulously popular TV show Doctor Who? It is a British show that mixes sci-fi with horror and mystery, and basically the Time Lords are people that can travel through time and space to any time or space they want at will using the TARDIS. The TARDIS is a time machine and a spaceship, hence the name. Time and relative dimensions in space, I think, is what the TARDIS stands for. So with this, the Doctor goes on many fabulous adventures, and most of them actually have to do with Earth. Not a whole lot. I'd say maybe 40%, maybe less of the show is actually off in other places of the universe. But 60-ish% of the stories are set on Earth. And most of the time, it's people invading Earth, trying to destroy, trying to take over, trying to assimilate us to their culture, even though they're the strangers. The Silurians, on the other hand, are the exception to that. The Silurians were creatures created for Doctor Who that support the hollow Earth theory, and the hollow Earth theory is just like the flat Earth theory, where some people believe it's true, some people don't believe it's true, and the ones that do believe it's true are treated as retards? I don't want to say retards, but it's like, come on, guys, you know the Earth is round. Like, just stop saying the Earth is flat. The hollow Earth theory states that there's simply, I think, 3 miles deep of the Earth's crust, and inside the Earth's crust is a giant hollow space with an internal sun, which doesn't make any sense. and lots and lots of advanced machinery and things that run things like plate tectonics. The plate tectonics are all supposedly um, just like run on machines and gears and things, shifting the plates above, like like cracks in an eggshell or something. They're just moving around. And so this Doctor Who episode explores the Hollow Earth theory with the Silurian theory. The Silurians are a reptilian hominoid species, meaning basically chameleons that have a body structure similar to humans. And they originally ruled the Earth. Humans came along once their species was nearly wiped out, and while they were living on Earth, they had a wonderful, highly technologically advanced society. And freaking, it's it's just something to wrap your head around, because you think, oh, well, maybe we're not alone in the universe. Maybe there's life on other planets. Let's go explore other planets. But now people are seriously putting money and time into investigating whether or not real Silurians could have lurked below the surface of the Earth in real life. So they're digging back through archaeological records and trying to find things like plastic signatures and synthesized chemical signatures, stuff that can't be made just by the Earth doing what Earth does. And they're trying to see if maybe millions and millions and millions and millions of years ago there were another society of lizard people that lived on Earth and were successful until something like the dinosaur incident came along where they just got wiped out. And so they're trying to find things like plastic and synthesized chemical residues in the surface rock, in the subsurface rock, in the ocean rock. And there's even talk of exploring the moon. They're seriously trying to say, well, if Elon Musk can send a Tesla Roadster into space, why can't we send more people into space to look for lizard people? Maybe lizard people lived on the moon, and why stop at the moon? Why not go to Mars? Let's look on Mars for lizard people, which would be a much more feasible thing, seeing as, the moon never was at all habitable, seeing as, asteroids. If you look at the moon for like 3 seconds, you'll see something like 1.5 million asteroid craters, and that's just on one side of the moon. So there was never hope for living on the moon anyway, because they'd been constantly bombarded by asteroids during the moon's formation, and it's still bombarded by asteroids, just smaller ones. But because it has no atmosphere either, there was nothing to stop the asteroids to come through to protect the lizard people if they ever existed. So I'm throwing the moon out. I'm also throwing Earth out. Now, while there could have been dinosaurs that lived in familial groups, there's no way that a dinosaur could have developed anything close to even Neanderthal technology. If they wanted to break down a tree, they just ran it over. If they wanted to dig a hole, they'd take their face and mash it into the dirt a bunch of times. Dinosaurs weren't smart. And so I have no doubt in my mind that Silurians do not exist, never did exist, and will never exist on Earth. Now, if they find something on Mars, go ahead. Yeah, show me the proof. I'd love to see it, because there has been proof that there is frozen water on Mars. Mars at one time did have an atmosphere. It was stripped of its atmosphere, I believe, during, not quite during formation, but something I forget occurred to strip Mars of its atmosphere. I'm thinking a solar radiation storm, because Mars does not have a very strong magnetic field to hold a barrier against the solar radiation. A huge solar storm came along and stripped off all the atmosphere off of Mars. So Mars doesn't have an atmosphere anymore, but we could set up things like tents and shelters and other things, bunkers on Mars. So it's possible at one point before Mars had its atmosphere stripped away that there could potentially have been life on Mars. but I highly doubt it went anything past single or maybe 50 cellular organisms. Something between 1 and 50 cells big of an organism. Now that's just talking bacteria, fungi, maybe something like a virus, because viruses are weird. Viruses are technically single-celled, but they're not organisms. They don't need any way to thrive or succeed. They don't need to feed. They don't need to reproduce. They just have genetic material stored in them, and so uh, a virus is a capsule. It's an escape pod for genetic DNA, and so the genetic material is inside the virus. The virus finds a host, implants itself on that host, and then injects the genetic material into it, and then hijacks the cell, using the cell as an organism to reproduce more viruses. And so something like that could have happened, where you could have had viruses develop on Mars, in which case we'd never want to go there and expose ourselves to it. But I don't think any form of even no life form on Mars could ever develop to such a degree to develop more than 2 IQ points. It's just not going to happen. It's too inhospitable, it's too cold. There's no source for food. The only thing you would have on Mars is mineral eaters, mineral eating bacteria, which would just live in the dirt and be like earthworms and dig tunnels and things, or solar thriving things like plants. They'd be solar fed. And so this whole theory of lizard people being on the moon, well, that's great. Maybe we'll find some someday. But we're never going to find people on Mars. It's just not going to happen. Now, while there's several theories that Mars, when it did have an atmosphere, was very similar to Earth, it was still very much whatchamacallit, too cold. And it didn't, as far as being away from the sun, it was too cold. So, let me know what you think. Are there more flat earthers out there trying to drive us crazy with lizard people? Does Trump deserve a Nobel Prize? And should you be able to tell someone what to wear? Let me know. And thank you for tuning in once again to your second episode of your Daily Dose of Lead.